Maybe I really like this movie because it's kind of Scooby-Doo-ish. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Audrey. Yes, my hair looks a little different. I apologize, it doesn't look great. It keeps falling backwards for some reason. I don't know, this is my third time wearing it and it has been fine every other time, but now it doesn't want to stay on my head, so that's how that is. I'm going to take a minute. I have some fun eyeshadow on today. It's based on one of the movies that I'm going to be talking about, because today we are talking about Christmas films / movies, whatever word you use to describe your cinematic experience. And can you guess which one it is before we start? I'm sure I'll probably post about it, so if you follow me on any sort of social media, you'll already know the answer. But I have quite a few movies to talk about. My list overall is not as large as my list for Halloween. There's a lot more horror movies, I think. There are some horror movies on this list, though, surprisingly, but I only broke it into comedy, drama, and animated. And I'm only going to fully in-depth talk about movies that I've seen. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 150 subscribers by the end of 2020. I'm at 137 currently, and that means I only need 13 more. So it'd be really awesome if you could subscribe, and if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to leave timestamps down below for categories, although drama only has one. So we'll just I'm doing comedy, drama, and animated. Animated is actually going to be the biggest category because I've seen the most animated Christmas movies. You know, Rankin and Bass rule the Christmas genre of film. I'm actually going to start with comedy first, so that's what I have listed. My absolute favorite Christmas comedy film is Ron Howard's The Grinch in 2000. It came out in 2000, so it's 20 years old, which is shocking to me. This is the Jim Carrey Grinch. Amazing. Love it so much. I don't know how it doesn't have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes because this movie is hilarious. I know there are people who like the original. They tend to be the older generation tends to like the original better, but this is the one I grew up with and I think it's very funny. And then it also incorporates a new kind of story, which I really do appreciate. It really delves into the relationship between Cindy Lou Who and the Grinch himself and gives the Grinch his backstory a little bit. Also, he's raised by 2 lesbian moms. Isn't that something to absolutely love about this movie? Because that's something I love about this movie. The next one I have is Elf. Everyone has seen Elf at this point. I haven't seen it, I think, in 2 or 3 years because my little brother started watching this movie all the time, including in like June or July. You know, Christmas in July, and it kind of killed the movie for me for a few years, so I needed to take a break off of that one. Another movie he did that when he was like a baby with was The Polar Express, and not gonna lie, like, I don't really care for The Polar Express in general, so it's not even on my animated list. Spoiler, sorry. But, you know, when you have a child that watches it 4 times in one day, it's a little hard. But anyway, back to Elf. We got a Will Ferrell movie, so cute. Back when I did not live in New York City, it was nice for we're taking place in New York City, and New York City in winter in movie land is amazing. It's this beautiful, wonderful place. In real life, it's not like that, but, you know, there's still the decor and all of that, and it's really lovely. Usually the tree looks great. I don't know if you saw the stuff about the tree this year, but you know, usually it looks great, and it's romantic, and you got all that, so it is a very good movie. Also, shout out to the fact that this was the only movie I had seen James Caan in, so I didn't know he was originally in The Godfather, so that was kind of funny to go back and watch The Godfather and be like, this is Buddy's dad. Although people thought it the first way, but I hadn't seen Godfather until this year, so yeah. Next one we have two are Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I think I do prefer Home Alone 2, again, because before I lived in New York City in winter is this wonderful, magical place, and I had always wanted to live here, and now I do, so it's great. Although the Donald Trump cameo is a lot now, but he's in it for like 2 seconds, because I had found out that he had just bought the plaza, so that's why that's the thing. I think then you have, I know Tim Curry and Rob Schneider are in this, and I think they pose a lot. Like, it's very, very good for like the kind of antagonist roles as well. And then, you know, you gotta love Joe Pesci trying not to cuss in a PG movie. It's amazing. That's like the highlight of the movie. And you know, this movie had me as a kid wanting people to break into my house so I could create elaborate traps on them. Maybe I really like this movie because it's kind of Scooby-Doo-ish. Like, you think about it, he's constantly making traps and getting into trouble. I mean, that's like Scooby-Doo in general. Side note, I didn't put any Scooby-Doos on here, but I did just watch Scooby-Doo Haunted Holiday that came out in 2012. Casey has joined the chat. And I really like that, so if you want to, that one's good as well. But yeah. Casey, do you want to do the video? Come here then. The second to last one we're going to talk about is A Christmas Story. I tend to watch this movie on Christmas. It's not my favorite, but I do really like this movie. So did my brother tell me this was directed by the same person who did Black Christmas? Or no, he directed some other horror movie or something like that, I think. He did another horror movie, but it's kind of interesting. But I do like this one. It's a classic, so there's lots of inside jokes with my family about this movie. The last one I'm going to mention is Christmas Vacation. I tend to watch this with my family every year on Thanksgiving after dinner. I haven't had Thanksgiving with my family with my whole family in about 3 years since I moved to New York. It's a little bit difficult, well, now especially, but it's a little bit difficult when you have Thanksgiving and then Christmas a month later if you're working to take off for both. So also if you're paying for your own plane ticket, travel expenses like that, I tend to choose Christmas. So we tend to watch Christmas Vacation. I think I've watched it with my brothers when I had Thanksgiving with them because it is a tradition. I actually haven't watched it yet. So yeah, that'll be something maybe we can do together at a different time. It's a National Lampoon movie. It's something. It goes from like 0 to 60 at the end in 2 seconds. It's what, I mean, if you've seen any of the other National Lampoon movies, they do the same thing. So Chevy Chase, you know, that old thing. That whole thing. A lot on here that I want to watch that I have not seen yet. Particularly, I'm just going to run through, because I have some horror movies on here, because I have Black Christmas on here, I have The Lodge. I haven't seen Happiest Season yet. I haven't seen Christmas on the Square, the Dolly Parton movie yet that has a lot of Broadway people in it. Or Carol, the lesbian movie. I do have Holiday Inn and Miracle on 34th Street, which are big dramas. I'm not going to mention It's a Wonderful Life, because I actually don't like that movie. I don't know what it is about that movie that people really like. I just don't like it, which I find funny because I was actually looking into it, and when it came out, critics were like, this is trash. And now everybody loves it, but I am agreeing with the critics. I just find it kind of boring, to be honest. And if I probably looked at it critically, it has some stereotyping and stuff that's not so good, but you know, that's how these old movies work. The other one I have, which is not really drama, but I don't know where to categorize it, would be Batman Returns. Because apparently this is a Christmas movie. So it's in all these Christmas lists. And I haven't seen any of the Michael Keaton Batmans, and I've wanted to for a while. And they were on HBO for a while, and then they took them off. I think they're on HBO Max, so I'll have to look into that. But the only one I'm going to actually recommend that I've seen is Scrooge. Another family movie. This is the story of A Christmas Carol. It's with Albert Finney. Came out in the 70s. There's a lot of Christmas Carol movies. We watch it every year on Christmas Eve. We eat fondue. It's a Christmas tradition. And I don't particularly like fondue because I try not to eat cheese. But I do enjoy that tradition, and I do really like this movie. Alec Guinness, who plays Obi-Wan, is in this movie. He plays Jacob Marley, so it's definitely something to watch. The animated category, which is the biggest of them all in this little video. There are so many animated holiday movies that I absolutely love, that I have personal places for in my life, and I'm going to be saving the best for last. I'll talk a little bit about we have some of the more well-known ones. I mean, most of them are really well-known, and the other one is, I feel like, not a lot of people know about, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. So, I'll just go in the order that I have them in. The first one I have is a Charlie Brown Christmas. You know, everybody loves Christmas time is here, because we gotta get a bunch of kids who are tone deaf to sing. But it's like Christmas, that little Charlie Brown pathetic Christmas tree in that really annoying song. And I love me some Snoopy, so gotta love it. I used to watch this movie when my mom and I decorated our Christmas tree. We started watching that, and we would do it during decoration. Another one that I have would be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I really love Rudolph. I watched this again. This was a movie I watched. There was this Christmas party in my neighborhood. Like, I lived in a pretty big neighborhood when I was little, and like everybody knew each other and was friends. So there was this Christmas party, and it was mainly an adult party. There was like a couple kids. Apparently, actually, this is the first event I went to when I was little. I was less than a week old. But I always went off into the room, you know, when I was not a baby, off to a side room, and I would watch Rudolph. So that was my memory from that. I do really love Rudolph. It's cute. A little reindeer. Everyone's so mean to him. He's so cute. I'll absolutely love him. Another one that I wouldn't say is a favorite of mine, but again, it's more sentimental value. Was a favorite of my mom's, was Frosty the Snowman. I don't think this is a Rankin and Bass. Or it's a Rankin and Bass, but it's not in claymation. It's like fully drawn animated. I don't want to say stop motion. They're claymation, right? Oh my god, I can't remember anything. But Frosty is animated. I remember that because it looks different. But my mom loved this one because the girl's name was Karen and my mom's name was Karen, so I gotta shout that out there. Also, I like the story of Frosty. The one I don't think that people know that much about is the snowman. I think it's British. But I had a little snowman, and so he's not like three little figures. It's definitely British. I think about it because there's so much British stuff in this movie. But he has like a round head and then like just like a big body like this. And he wears a little green hat, and there's no speaking. There's no dialogue. It's just completely music in the background. I loved this. I had a little snowman with me, and they go on this journey. Basically, the snowman comes to life. Him and the kid go on this journey. It's very sad at the end, from what I remember. But I do love this. It's based on a book. I think I had the book as well. But I love the snowman. You gotta shout out Frozen and Frozen 2. I would consider Frozen 2 more of a fall-ish movie because it's autumn. It takes place in autumn, so I would consider that more fall, but Frozen 1 is definitely a Christmas movie. And the number one that I'm going to say, my absolute fave, not just this category, my absolute fave is The Year Without a Santa Claus. And that's what this looks based on. You got your snow miser and your heat miser. I love this movie. There's just so much about this. The songs are amazing. I think this is a really solid Rankin Bass one. You know, I gotta love the Heat and Snow Miser songs. I thought it was, when I was little, I thought it was amazing that Heat Miser and Snow Miser work out a deal to get it to snow for a day in the South. And as a little Southern kid, that was my dream, for it to snow in the South. So there's like this kid who goes, "Oh, it's snowing, it's really snowing." And that was like, I think about that all the time. It was like my dream. And when I saw snow for the first time, that was like how I reacted. Wish they had this music on like Apple Music. They don't have any music from The Year Without a Santa Claus on there. It's annoying. I have to go to YouTube and type it in and watch little videos, but it's worth it. So many people haven't seen this, and you need to. It's amazing. These little 1970s Rankin and Bass TV movies that came out were absolutely incredible, and this one I absolutely recommend. I mean, it has Blue Christmas in it. A lot of work from Mrs. Claus in this. Very cute little reindeer. Dumb elves, gotta love Jingle and Jangle. Heat Miser, Snow Miser, gotta love them. This movie is so good. I can't believe it's not as popular. It is so good. And that is where I'm gonna end with this one. If you liked this video, I hope you will come back and join me. I will try to get used to this and not mess with it so much while I'm doing it, but while I'm doing a video, but look at this. Look how long this is. This is super long. Maybe I can get a wig that is not 1,000 feet long. You know, we'll see. But I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. I'm Mr. Green Christmas. I'm Mr. Sun. Do-do-do-do. I'm Mr. Heat Blister. I'm Mr. 101. They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch, starts to melt in my clutch. I'm too much.